Hey everyone, so much can happen in 10 years. But the real question is, will it all happen to you or will you make it happen for you? Today, we are diving deep into how you can actually design the next decade of your life to build a future that's genuinely wealthier. Let's jump right in.
This quote from Hawkeye Accounting really just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? A whole decade can just, slip right by, with your life being shaped by random events instead of your own decisions. It's the difference between living by default and living by design.
So, what's the alternative to just letting things happen randomly? It's a plan, a blueprint. More specifically, it's a 10-year financial plan that acts as your personal roadmap, helping you take the wheel and build the future you actually want, one step at a time. Okay, so here's our game plan for this explainer. We're going to start with the big idea of the plan itself, the time machine. Then we'll figure out your starting point, design where you want to go, build the engine to get you there, talk about handling the bumps in the road, and finally, light the fuse on taking that very first step. I want you to think of this 10-year plan as less of a boring spreadsheet and more like a time machine. Seriously, it's a blueprint that lets you peer into the future, decide exactly what you want it to look like, and then build a bridge from where you are today to that specific destination.
And this is what gives your whole financial journey structure. This blueprint takes everything into account. We're talking savings, investments, all your expenses to create this really clear, actionable path toward those huge long-term goals. The big stuff like buying a house or actually retiring someday.
Look, before you plan a trip to literally anywhere, you have to know your exact location on the map, right? Well, it's the exact same thing with your money. This entire journey starts with a really clear, honest look at where you're standing right now. And listen, this doesn't have to be some big, scary thing. It's really just a simple 4-step audit. First, you pull together your income and expenses. Then, you take a hard look at your debts. What are those interest rates? After that, check your savings, especially what you've got for an emergency. And finally, review any investments you already have. This part is absolutely crucial because it grounds your entire plan in reality.
All right, so we know our starting point. Now we get to the really exciting part, looking ahead. This is where we stop just analyzing today and start actually designing tomorrow. It's all about getting crystal clear on what you're really working towards.
Now check this out. This is a really cool technique called reverse goal setting. Instead of thinking, okay, what can I do this year? You flip it. You ask, where do I want to really be in 10 years? Once you have that vivid picture in your head, you can work backward to map out the exact milestones you need to hit each year to make it a reality. Now, a complete plan for your life would cover all 5 of these areas. Because, a fulfilling life is about more than just your bank account, right? It's about your work, your people, your health, all of it. For this explainer, though, we're going to laser focus on that first critical piece of the puzzle, your money vision. So to make that money vision concrete, we need a target. A vague goal like, I want to be wealthy, just isn't going to cut it. But a specific number, that's something you can work with. So let's talk about your FIRE number. FIRE stands for financial independence, retire early, and it's basically the amount of money you need to have so you never have to work for money again. So how do you find this magic number? Well, there's a really simple guideline called the Rule of 300. You just figure out your ideal monthly expenses for when you're retired, and you multiply that number by 300. This is all based on the idea that you can safely take out about 4% of your savings every year and not run out. It's a simple little trick that gives you a real, tangible target to aim for. Let's look at a quick example to make this real. Let's say you think you'll need about 5,000 euros a month to live comfortably in retirement. Okay, so you multiply that by 300. And there you have it. Your FIRE number, your big target, is 1.5 million euros. Boom. All of a sudden, the goal isn't just some fuzzy dream anymore. It's a number we can actually build a plan around. Okay, having a destination and a target number is awesome, but how in the world do you actually get there? You need an engine. And for our plan, that engine is a smart, strategic investment plan that's designed to grow your wealth over the next decade. And this chart illustrates a super important idea. Successful investing isn't just about what you buy, it's also about when you buy it. The economy moves in cycles. When things are expanding, stocks, especially in areas like tech, usually do really well. But during a downturn, you might want more defensive things like healthcare and utilities that people need no matter what the economy is doing. Now, another huge part of your engine is making it efficient, and I'm talking about tax efficiency. You see, taxes can be a massive drag on your returns over time. That's why a lot of investors really like things called ETFs. Unlike some mutual funds where a manager might be buying and selling all the time, which triggers taxes for everyone, ETFs tend to have way less of that internal trading. And that means fewer taxable events, so more of your money stays invested and compounding for you, not for the taxman.
Let's be real for a second. The road to your 10-year goal is not going to be a perfectly straight line. There will be market swings, economic slumps, and for sure, moments of doubt. The biggest challenge isn't going to be the market. It's going to be managing your own emotions and just staying disciplined.
And here are some of the classic traps that throw people off course. High-interest debt can absolutely kill your progress. Inflation can silently eat away at your savings. And ignoring things like taxes or refusing to get professional advice can lead to really costly mistakes. Just being aware that these potholes exist is the first step to avoiding them. So, what's the best tool to keep yourself on the straight and narrow? It's something called an investment policy statement, or an IPS. Think of it like your own personal financial constitution. It's a document you write for yourself that lays out your goals, how much risk you're comfortable with, and the rules for how you'll manage your money.
And here's why this is so powerful. An IPS is basically your defense against your own worst instincts. When the market is going crazy and you feel that panic, that urge to just sell everything, your IPS is the rule book that reminds you of your long-term game plan. It helps you make decisions based on logic, not emotion.
Wow, we have covered a lot. Defining your vision, calculating your target, building your strategy. But a plan is just a piece of paper until you actually do something. The entire 10-year journey starts with a single step, and it has to be taken today. I absolutely love this quote. It just perfectly captures the magic of compounding. And it's not just about money growing over time. It's about your effort. Those small, consistent, daily actions. Saving a little extra here, chucking your budget there, sticking to the plan. They all compound into massive results over a decade. This says it all, really. You can't just hope for a better future. You have to be the architect. The power to shape the next 10 years of your life doesn't start tomorrow or next week or next year. It starts right now with the very next decision you make. So as we wrap this up, I'm just going to leave you with this one question. Your 10-year journey has officially begun right now. So what's your first step going to be? Are you going to calculate that FIRE number? Do that financial audit? Maybe just write down your vision. Whatever it is, take that step. Your future self is going to thank you for it.